of our leaders, and like he just lead in different ways. Like Myles don't gotta always talk about anything. Like his actions are loud. The way how he goes about his work is loud. His results are loud. So it's like you kind of look at the recipe that he uses and all these different great players use. That's what, just being here and talking to those players about is like just building those relationships. And at any time, if I ever need them, I know they'll be able to answer the phone and I'll be able to talk to them. But Myles, he's somebody that you definitely want to gain his respect. And do I feel like I accomplished that? I don't know. But it's just going to continue to make me work.
Nobody expected this moment to hit like this. When Shedeur Sanders spoke openly about the possibility of Myles Garrett leaving Cleveland, the entire energy around the Browns shifted instantly. You could feel it. The room didn't just go quiet, it got heavy. And what Shadur said is exactly why fans are still arguing about it right now. The real question landed hard. Should the Browns even consider trading Myles Garrett? That's the line that split the fan base in half. Here's the wild part. Not long ago, the same crowd hyping up Shedeur Sanders today was begging him to escape Cleveland. People were loud about it. They were furious. The atmosphere under Kevin Stefanski had turned toxic, and everyone could see it. The offense looked broken, accountability felt optional, and the frustration was impossible to hide. Fans assumed Shadur would do what most young quarterbacks do in that situation: pack up, request a trade, and protect his career before it sank with the ship. But that's not what happened. Shadur didn't run. He didn't hide.
One last one for you. Myles Garrett set the media world on fire with a trade request. There's still rumors that are lingered. What's your relationship like with Myles, and how important is he to your 2026?
Yeah, I appreciate Myles a lot. He just you want to always gain his respect. Like that's somebody like for the first time, like I'm like, dang, I gotta do everything I can, I mean, I got a lot of high expectations for myself also, and you gotta. And I'm thankful for this year. This was a building year. It was a building year. There's a lot of great lessons to learn and everything. But was it up to my expectations?
He didn't point fingers and disappear. He stayed. And more importantly, he battled every single day to earn respect on that field and inside that locker room. That type of resolve is rare in today's league. Loyalty like that isn't common, especially when the system around you is clearly failing. Staying wasn't comfortable. It wasn't easy. It was a challenge he accepted head on. And don't confuse this with softness or blind loyalty. This wasn't about being nice. This was raw toughness. This was stepping into chaos and refusing to blink while everything burned around him. Most players would have bailed the second things turned ugly. Instead, Shadur stood tall while the Browns struggled with leadership, preparation, and consistency. Stefanski's era wasn't just disappointing, it lacked accountability at every level. Let's be clear though, this collapse was never just on Shedeur Sanders or Myles Garrett. The blame stretches wide. The wide receiver group, including Jerry Jeudy, failed to deliver when it mattered. The offensive line broke down far too often. Missed assignments piled up. Momentum vanished week after week. Still, management dragged its feet, letting excuses stack higher while the same stars were forced to shoulder the blame. These aren't role players we're talking about. These are elite talents in their prime, record setters being asked to drag a flawed roster uphill every Sunday. You can't blame stars for feeling frustrated when teammates don't hold up their end. Nobody wants to waste seasons because of repeated mistakes and poor execution. But here's the difference maker. While frustration grew and rumors swirled, Shadur chose resistance over retreat. That decision matters. Grit like that isn't common. It's not for everyone. It's for competitors who refuse to let circumstances define them. Myles Garrett is a monster on the field. No debate there.
I ain't gonna lie, I want to feel one of your swipes though. Like one of his aggressive, grabs.
But
I want to just see if I can get out of it though.
But you a good kid. I don't want to have to hurt you, bro. we gonna need you, bro. We gonna need you.
His dominance speaks for itself. But when we talk about courage, real sustained courage, Shedeur Sanders stands front and center. Garrett could make a statement by leaving. That option is always there for stars of his caliber. Instead, Shadur absorbed the pressure, the criticism, and the heartbreak of losing seasons while still demanding excellence from himself and everyone around him. That's leadership without filters. The trade rumors surrounding Myles Garrett only expose the cracks inside this organization. But Shedur's example sends a louder message. Strength isn't just sacks, stats, or headlines. Real strength is enduring the storm, showing up anyway, and refusing to lower your standards when everything feels stacked against you. That's the fire this franchise desperately needs. That's the edge Shedeur Sanders brings every single day. And when it comes to Myles Garrett, Shadur understands the truth better than anyone. Respect isn't handed out. It's earned. The real question isn't whether Shadur understands respect. It's whether the organization has done enough to earn it back.
This morning that your role is TBD, to be determined. What's your reaction to that? What does that mean to you when you hear that?
I mean, that's what's expected. You know, that's what's expected. I think each and every day I have to prove to everybody and to myself also. So it's kind of like having goals and accomplishing those goals, whether it's small goals, and the small goals will end up to long-term success. So it's kind of like just hit your landmarks on what you need to do. Focus more in depth on everything on what you want to, and just be in control of your life and what you can control.
Beautifully said, and exactly where you need.
Shadur is talking about real respect, the kind built through action, accountability, and results, not empty promises. Myles Garrett isn't the loudest voice in the room, and that silence speaks volumes. His leadership has never been about loud speeches or fake hype. It's about the work he puts in every single day when nobody is watching. When your effort speaks louder than your words, there's no need to sell yourself. That kind of presence changes locker rooms instantly. It forces people to pay attention without begging for approval. Shedeur Sanders understands that, and he isn't pretending to be something he's not. Earning Myles Garrett's respect isn't automatic, and that's exactly the point. Garrett sets the bar high, and Shadur knows it. This isn't some easy handshake or casual acknowledgement. It's a challenge. Shadur openly admits he isn't sure if he's earned that respect yet, and that uncertainty is what fuels him. That edge, ambition mixed with humility, is rare. And it's exactly what Cleveland has been missing while stumbling through the chaos of recent seasons. It's always easy to point fingers when things fall apart. Fans do it. Media does it. But real leaders don't get lost in blame. Shadur doesn't waste time worrying about who messed up last Sunday. He goes straight to what he can control: effort, preparation, and consistency. His mindset shows he understands the real formula for success. It's not flashy talk. It's grit, discipline, and trust built over time.
How is Myles Garrett playing in Vans?
Oh, no.
Look at this athlete here.
Oh, sweet.
That man 280.
How is that?
Oh, CMC's out. Get him, Myles.
The cat.
Get him, Myles.
What separates him even more is that he's not just thinking about himself. He's thinking about the locker room, the team, the relationships that matter long term. He's said it clearly, he can call anytime. That level of honesty and maturity is rare, especially from someone still early in his career. While others might burn bridges or check out mentally, Shadur doubles down on loyalty and growth, even when it's uncomfortable. That's controversial in today's league. Too many stars look for exits the moment things get rough. But toughness under pressure is disappearing fast. Shadur is doing the opposite. He's leaning into the problems instead of running from them. And that's what makes him different. Meanwhile, the rumors about Myles Garrett wanting out only paint a picture of a fractured organization. But what Shadur is saying cuts deeper than any headline. Respect isn't given, it's earned. Garrett's quiet approach and relentless work send a clear message. Actions always speak louder than complaints.
And get there. But you have a lot of different feelings. You have a lot of different feelings, but feelings are temporary, you know? So you can't act on feelings majority of the time. You got to act on knowledge, and you got to act on common sense and experience. Even though I don't have the experience, but I have resources that I'm thankful to have, so I could ask those people so I could get at least half of the experience. You know what I'm saying? That's what being a vet is. You being a vet in life. So you talking through Joe Flacco about different situations or how he felt. He told us a story about something that happened in his, first game ever. That was like very embarrassing. And it was like, dang, that's cool. So it's like, whatever happens, you know, it's like you able to push through it and you able to get through.
Shadur openly admitting he still has more to prove to Garrett isn't weakness. It's leadership in its purest form. It takes confidence to say, you're still chasing respect even when the spotlight is already on you. That kind of mindset can change everything. Shadur isn't just playing football, He's laying the groundwork to rewrite the Browns' identity from the inside out. If more players shared that mentality, maybe losing streaks and toxic narratives wouldn't define this franchise year after year. But the storm isn't over yet, and another test is already waiting. This time, his role isn't even fully defined, and that's the wild part. His response shows a mindset that refuses to settle or back down. Think about it. Shadur just finished a season proving himself on the field, breaking records, carrying an unstable roster, showing up every week with professionalism, and his role is still being debated. It's embarrassing for a franchise that keeps preaching rebuild while looking completely lost in the process. Fans have every right to be furious, because this isn't just hesitation. It feels like disrespect mixed with dysfunction. Let's be honest, how many times can a player be expected to jump through hoops while the organization keeps shifting the goalposts every single time he clears one? How long is Shedeur Sanders supposed to stay patient while Browns leadership hides behind vague statements and endless, to-be-determined answers? That phrase doesn't sound strategic. It sounds scared. It sounds like an organization that doesn't know what it wants and refuses to commit.
First down. Burrow, he's under pressure, he's sacked! And there it is, 30-year-old Myles Garrett records his NFL record 23rd sack of the year.
If this is what leadership looks like, it's no surprise morale stays low and the locker room tension never fully disappears. Instead of setting a clear direction, the Browns keep circling the same excuses and half steps. And who ends up paying for it? The players. The ones grinding daily, sacrificing their bodies, and carrying expectations. Players like Shadur, who are constantly labeled as the future, yet treated like placeholders by management that can't get out of its own way. What makes this situation even more striking is Shadur's response. No complaints, no public frustration, just focus and fire. He talks about proving himself every day, setting personal standards, and controlling what he can control. That's winner mentality, no question. But here's the real issue. Why does he still have to prove what's already been proven? Why is a player with production, leadership, and resilience being forced to clear the same hurdles again and again? At some point, it stops being evaluation and starts looking like hesitation rooted in fear. Browns management should be asking themselves hard questions because this approach is burning trust fast. They're asking their best talent to fight uphill battles off the field while struggling to handle the business side correctly.
Something about, I want to know about that waiting, if you go back and you
I
have
learned
to,
a different aspect of life.
did it suck? Do you wish you never had to wait? Do you think the waiting helped you, or did it hurt you?
No,
Nothing.
because everything in life, it has to happen.
Yeah.
It's based off the decisions you make. So it has to happen. If I needed that so I could learn different things in life, then put me.
If this continues, the damage won't just show up in the standings. It'll show up in exits. Stars don't stay forever when uncertainty becomes the culture. And once those players walk, no press conference or explanation will fix it. The Browns need a wake-up call now, not later. Because history remembers franchises that burn bridges with the very players they claimed to build around. And nobody forgets the long stretch Shadur spent sidelined, watching, waiting, and feeling like the system wasn't working in his favor. Those 12 weeks weren't just about being inactive. They were about momentum being paused, confidence being tested, growth being delayed. Instead of giving him the reps he earned, he was held back while decisions dragged on. That kind of uncertainty hits harder than any hit on the field. What made it worse was how the situation was handled. While Shadur was ready to step up, Kevin Stefanski leaned toward Dillon Gabriel, clearly positioning him ahead in the rotation. Whether intentional or not, the message landed loud. It felt less like competition and more like control, less about development and more about maintaining authority. When injuries entered the picture, transparency vanished. Updates felt unclear, timelines shifted, explanations changed. Instead of clarity, confusion took over and Shadur remained on the sidelines longer than expected. That's not how trust is built. That's how frustration grows. Meanwhile, the Browns media machine did the franchise no favors at all. Instead of asking hard questions or holding leadership accountable, too many outlets turned into mouthpieces, repeating the same tired narratives aimed at Shedeur Sanders. He was painted as unreliable, unready, or somehow the problem. That wasn't reporting. That was agenda-driven noise. When media chooses comfort over truth, the player grinding through chaos becomes the easiest target. That kind of coverage isn't journalism. It's protection of the status quo. It exists to shield decision-makers and bury anyone who threatens the old order. And Shadur didn't just survive those stories. He evolved through them. He leaned on veterans, absorbed lessons, and built a mental edge strong enough to withstand constant doubt. That takes rare toughness. Most players crack under that pressure. If the Browns want to clean up this mess, it starts with admitting how they push their own rising star into the background. And it has to stop with allowing media allies to tear down the very player fans should be standing behind. Because Shedur's response to all of this cuts straight through the noise and proves he's not just another name waiting on opportunity. When Kay Adams asked him whether the waiting hurt or helped, Shadur didn't dodge. He didn't play the victim. He didn't complain. He said, "Life has a way of throwing what you need at you, whether it's easy or not." That's honesty most players never show. He didn't sugarcoat it. He admitted it was tough. He admitted the process tested him. What he really said without saying it was powerful. "Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, I was held back. But if that's what it took to grow stronger, smarter, and more prepared, then so be it." That mindset doesn't come from luck. It comes from inner fire. While Browns management stalled, delayed, and spun explanations, Shadur was turning adversity into fuel. Most players would have grown bitter. Some would have shut down or demanded out. But Shadur thanked the struggle. He credited it for sharpening his focus and building resilience. That's rare. That's dangerous in the best way. That's the kind of mentality franchises search years to find. Yet Cleveland keeps testing instead of empowering it. If anyone wonders why Shedeur Sanders is different, this is the answer. He's not just competing on Sundays. He's mastering the mental chess match behind the scenes. He's learning how systems work, how pressure moves, and how to stay centered while everything around him shakes. Every setback became preparation. Every delay became a lesson. Meanwhile, leadership kept stumbling through excuses and indecision. Shadur isn't just fighting for a role. He's pushing against a system that keeps challenging him to break. And he keeps responding by rising. One thing is undeniable. He's built for resistance. He's built to lead. And no amount of delay can change that trajectory. If you want the real story behind the Browns drama, the part that doesn't get spun or softened, make sure you hit subscribe and like, because what's coming next is only getting louder.